Halfway between Cleveland and Akron, you will find a community that may be one of Northeast Ohio's best kept secrets. It's a town of growth, history, and it also sits on the doorstep of the Cuyahoga Valley National Park.
Fox 8 meteorologist Scott Sabol grew up in the city of Hudson, and he joins us there live to show us how the city remembers its building towards its future. Scott, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Wayne. You know, this place where we're located here in Hudson's, it's called Hudson's. It's a nice little diner here, family owned and operated. And when Scott and I were young, after church or after a ball game or maybe just an evening out on the town with mom and dad and our three sisters, we would come here.
That's right. And this was long before First and Main, you know, the newer part of Hudson was built. This was really the only family restaurant you could go to. And we made the best of it. We came here many times, like you said, for breakfast. I remember coming here like when I was in second grade, you know, after maybe like a band concert or something like that. It's a fun place, has a lot of history, and I haven't been in here in a long time, so it's fun to be here.
Bringing back some memories walking in here, and I bet you were always, you ordered that club sandwich.
It was
back
a club.
in the day, right?
It was always a club sandwich, exactly. And yeah, it was a club sandwich. I could never finish it because then Dad went, all right, fine, I'll finish it. And then he would finish like the last 10% of it.
Yeah, that's pretty much what dads always usually do.
Exactly,
right?
exactly. So now we're gonna have a story revolve around me, John. So you just be patient here.
All right,
the older brother's got to go first.
Older brother can go first this one time.
So we're going to talk about Hudson, my history in Hudson, and where Hudson's going and where it's been right now.
Like most boys growing up in the 80s, sports was my life, particularly baseball. If you wanted to find me, all you had to do was check the nearest park or diamond. Those fields have changed a lot since then. No dirt, weeds, or rocks to deal with anymore. Now pristine turf, perfect playing conditions. Those fields are not the only things, though, that have come a long way. Check out the schools.
Let's see. Oh, there I am. Man, I look like I'm 12. Wow.
From K through 12, I roamed these halls, but they're much different now as Hudson schools continue to expand.
The last several years have been super growth around here. Certainly the highlight is the new middle school, which for a long time was your old high school, which is the 1927 building that you were the last graduating class for that in '92.
While progress marches on, Hudson also pays tribute to the past, honoring and recognizing the people who have come before and left their mark on the community.
This is the alumni room. It opened several years ago. We're always getting donations from people who, you know, have been around in Hudson. We have pictures, we have yearbooks, we have awards, and we have uniforms. This alumni room is a great, encompasses all of that, and it's a great example of all the history that's here.
Historic downtown Hudson, Ohio. The clock tower. I got a tour of that when I was in 4th grade. Dave's Cosmic Subs, my brother can tell you about that, and before he was born, I was hanging out at the arcade in the basement. I remember when First and Main didn't even exist, and it's been here for a while. This is kind of the mecca of shopping. So Jim, talk to us about where Hudson's come from, the last 5 to 10 years, where we are, and where Hudson's going from here.
Well, Scott, if you jump back to 2008, 2009, you had the great financial crisis. So cities and towns like ours were stable but quiet until the middle of 2015, 2016. And at that point, we had something of a great resurgence in Hudson. In 2017, a big new financial or a big new medical technology company came to town. And that started really the floodgates opening.
But there's more to Hudson than just shopping. If you love the outdoors, this is the place to be.
Growing up here, you know, we had Colony Park, we had Cascade Park, we had Barlow Park, and there were a few others. Explain the parks and how essential that is to Hudson.
It's our best secret. You know, Hudson is 25 square miles, Scott. We have 20 parks, 1,100 acres. In the last few years, we've done things like added one of the most attractive and advanced skateboard parks in northeastern Ohio to this town, and people come from all over. So the parks are wonderful, and just to our west, we have Cuyahoga Valley National Park. The parks are a big secret ingredient for Hudson and for economic development.
All right, how'd you like that? Did you like that? How I took you back to Cascade Park there briefly. All right, and then we kind of went back to I call it the old high school, which is not even a high school anymore.
No, it's
which
not.
was your middle school, which we'll talk about later.
Which my old middle school is pretty much not there. It is, it is, but it isn't because they've expanded.
Which means we're getting old. But we'll talk more about that coming up later on. So, want to thank Hudson's for serving us breakfast. We're going to dive into this.
Kevin Altamari, we'll talk to him in a little bit. Great breakfast we have here. He's going to show us some cool food options, too, for anybody else around town that maybe you're new to the area that hasn't been here. We'll talk to him about that and a lot more. And then the best part of this whole feature this morning is my story.
Oh, here we go.
Which is coming up a little bit later.